Hi, I'm Kate, also known as the Daily Tarot Girl, and in this video I'm going to tell you all about the Two of Pentacles. I'm going to tell you what this card means when it shows up in a reading and what it means when it shows up reversed. I'm going to break down all the symbols, all the secret meanings and messages, and I'm also going to give you some really fun journaling prompts. So buckle up, get ready. But before we dive in, I want to say two things. Number one, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel. It would mean so much to me. And number two, I have created a minor arcana tarot meanings cheat sheet for you. I'm going to put the link below on how you can grab your free copy. And it's got all the keywords and meanings of all the minor arcana cards, plus some fun drawings that I made. So make sure you grab that. Okay, so let's dive into the Two of Pentacles. So ultimately, the Two of Pentacles is a card of balance and multitasking. That, in a nutshell, is what this card is all about. But we're gonna go a little bit more deeply into this card. So this card, Two of Pentacles, is from the Suit of Pentacles, and the Suit of Pentacles corresponds to the element of earth. And Pentacles and earth are very physical. So the whole Suit of Pentacles is all about the physicality of day-to-day life. So think health, the body, money, material things. This is the most physical of the four suits in the tarot. And I should also mention that the card that you see on your screen is from the Giant Rider Waite Tarot. So the Two of Pentacles is of the number 2. And the twos show up in different ways in all of the four suits. So I'm going to show you all four two cards in the minor arcana. So my next video is going to be on the Two of Swords, Two of Cups, and then the Two of Wands. And in each video, I'm going to show you how that number 2 shows up differently depending on the suit. So in the Suit of Pentacles, 2 is all about balance and, you know, maybe juggling more than one thing. In the Suit of Swords, it's all about choice and dilemma, being at a crossroads. In the Suit of Cups, it's all about merging and coming together in partnership. And then the 2 in the Suit of Wands shows up in kind of a funny way, kind of in a different way. And it shows up as choice, but also as like time and space. So think about like the 2 wands, and then there's this like space. I'll explain it better when we get to the Two of Wands. But in a nutshell, the twos will show up differently depending on the suit. So here we have the Two of Pentacles, and the number 2 shows up as balance and multitasking here. So where am I here? Sorry, I'm reading off my note sheet here just so I get everything in this video. Okay, so I'm gonna give you some keywords for the Two of Pentacles. So balance, multitasking, and I almost think of like juggling. In some decks, this card is depicted as a juggler. So it's that idea of like keeping all the balls in the air. Two of Pentacles is also about the flow state. And even though you might be super busy, kind of getting into that flow state, so it's about busyness and it's about kind of the hecticness of day-to-day life. So let's look at the symbols on this card. So number 1 is the figure on this card. I call him the juggler, even though technically in the Rider Waite deck, he's not juggling. He has 2 balls, but they're in his hand, so he's not really juggling, but he has, you know, he has something in each hand. So he is fully occupied. He's very busy. He's got a lot on his plate. And notice how he's standing. So he almost looks like he's dancing a little jig, like he's doing a little bit of a dance. He has one foot flat on the ground and the other foot is slightly raised. And he is on solid ground. So it looks like he's on this like flat, boring slab of cement. He's on like paved ground, and in the background you can see these roiling waves of the ocean and these boats being kind of tossed about to and fro. So his environment is hectic. There's a lot of movement and a lot going on behind him. He's busy. He's got something in either hand. He doesn't have his feet firmly planted on the ground. He has one foot firmly planted on the ground. He's kind of dancing, so he's in motion, but he's standing on solid ground. So this is interesting. So to me, this depicts how we can be very busy in our day-to-day lives, and we can be in a really like busy kind of hectic environment. But as long as we keep one foot on solid ground, we'll be able to keep our hat on. So that's the other part, is that symbol of that big weird red phallic shaped hat that he's wearing. And I think that the hat does symbolize kind of keeping one's hat on, keeping one's head on. So he's staying sane. He might have a lot on his mind. He might have a busy mind, but he's staying sane. He's keeping his hat on despite all the busyness and chaos that might be happening around him. Okay, so let's talk about the infinity symbol now. So you'll notice that this green infinity symbol is looping around each of the pentacles and then coming back to the center. Now, right now as I'm talking, I want you to just kind of trace that symbol, the infinity symbol, with your fingertip. And you'll notice that the infinity symbol goes on and on forever. So you could do this forever. There's no beginning, there's no end. And the infinity symbol represents getting into a flow state. And so this is the key to staying balanced and to staying sane when you have a lot of responsibilities and tasks that you're juggling. And maybe life is super hectic and busy, but if you can get into a flow, that is the secret to being busy, but staying kind of calm, getting into that flow state. So an interesting thing about the infinity symbol is it loops out and around, and then it comes back to the center. Loops out and around in the other direction, comes back to the center. So it's repeatedly coming back to the center. And there's a message here that when times are busy and you've got a lot on the go, you've got a lot on your plate, it's really important to come back to your center periodically. You may not always be perfectly balanced or perfectly centered, but if you make the effort to dip back into getting centered, so dipping back into a state of balance, that allows you to branch out, to go out into the chaos, and maybe get a little bit consumed by the chaos for a bit, but then you come back to your center. And that is the secret to staying grounded, staying balanced, staying calm, even when you have a lot going on. That's how you get into the flow state. Okay. One more thing I want to mention is that the character in the Two of Pentacles, if you look at him and his body language and his feet placement and the ground he's standing on, the background, he's simultaneously grounded while also in motion. So he's on solid ground, but he's also in motion. So that is a little bit of what the Two of Pentacles is about. It's about being able to be in perpetual motion while staying grounded. Okay, so let's talk about the advice and the messages that this card has for you when it shows up for you in a reading. So one possible meaning, if you're doing a reading and you get this card, it could be telling you that multitasking is required of you right now. It could also be encouraging you to keep moving and kind of get into the flow, but at the same time, stay balanced. So it's like, okay, things are busy. You're going to need to multitask. You're going to have, multiple responsibilities on your plate, but you're going to need to stay balanced and keep moving, get into the flow state. It's also telling you to come back to your center. So again, remember that infinity symbol, you're kind of coming back to your center. This is going to allow you to be busy, to be occupied, to do a lot without losing your head. So every tarot card has what I call an external meaning and an internal meaning. So there's a way that this card will show up in your outer life, and there's a way that this card can be experienced in your inner life. So externally, the Two of Pentacles tells you that there's a lot going on in your life right now. You're busy, you might be juggling different things all at the same time. Internally, it's telling you to focus on creating inner balance. So that might be on the physical level, on the emotional level, on the mental or spiritual level, but it's saying focus on coming back to the center, creating internal balance. And that way, if your outer life is unbalanced, so if you're like really, really busy, if you're balanced internally, you're going to be in a better position to face that outward busyness. If this card shows up reversed, so if the Two of Pentacles shows up in a reading and it's upside down, it's reversed, it can show that you're feeling overwhelmed by all the different tasks and responsibilities in life. Like life is getting too busy. It's no longer sustainable. You're really struggling to stay balanced. And it can also symbolize dropping the ball. So dropping the ball because you're trying to do too much all at once. So just as I said, the Two of Pentacles was about kind of getting into that flow state when things are busy, reversed, it can show an inability to get into the flow state. So things are just too busy. It's not possible to get into the flow. Reversed, it can be a message of needing to take things off your plate and focusing on one thing at a time. So the Two of Pentacles can be experienced in a really stressful way, like the busyness is just totally unsustainable, or in a non-stressful way, so in a flow state kind of way, where you're able to move through a really busy day or a really busy week with ease because you're in the flow. The key here is balance. So again, we're coming back to that keyword balance. So if you come away from this video and you only remember one word, have it be balance. That is kind of in a nutshell what the Two of Pentacles is all about. Okay, I'm gonna give you some fun journaling questions. So the first one is, what helps you stay balanced during busy times? And I want you to share this with me below in the comment section. And I know you didn't ask, but I'm gonna tell you anyway what helps me stay balanced during busy times. So I find bullet journaling really helpful. I find meditating regularly, where I just move inward and quiet my mind. That really helps. Meal prep, so like planning my week's meals in advance, doing a little bit of meal prep, and making time for exercise. These are all things that help me stay balanced even when things are super busy. Okay, couple more questions. How does the Two of Pentacles show up in your life right now? And this is a question that I'm going to be repeating for all the cards in the Minor Arcana. So how is this card showing up for you right now in your life? What different things are you juggling and balancing right now? What helps you come back to your center when you're busy? What helps you get into that flow state that we talked about? Share below if you feel like it. I'd love to hear your responses. And that in a nutshell is the Two of Pentacles. So let me know what you thought. I hope that you found this helpful, and I hope that the next time the Two of Pentacles comes up in a reading, you're going to know exactly what to say about it. You're gonna be like, aha, I know exactly what this card is trying to tell me. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining me. Please give me a like and subscribe to my channel if you found this video helpful. Happy tarot reading.